Yeah, you tuned it into the incredible, the unbreakable, the untouchable. We're here. Fucking idiot. So what's happening, man? Having another day, another dollar not being made because I'm sitting here chilling with the guys. That was very fucking loud. But anywho, all right, you know what? Let me see. How about that? Sounds a lot better. A little bit. Not mine was screaming in my ear for a second. But anywho. So today is another day that I have made. Please rejoice and be grateful in it. I feel like today is going to be a good subject. I got Nick James in this piece. And then I also am going to have another special guest coming in. From one of my previous episodes, it's going to be Therese is coming back so we can have her give her insights on how she feels, I guess from the opinions of the opposite sex. So,
and I'm very excited. And first off, good evening to everyone listening. I'm very excited to have someone because this is the first podcast I'll be a part of where it will be someone, not only just another person other than just you and I, but a person of the opposite sex. Right. So I'm very excited to, delve into whatever the fuck we delve into. So fuck it, man. Like I'm real happy. I'm glad I'm here. I'm real grateful that you, again, I don't know if I tell you this enough, but I'm grateful that you always have me on the podcast. Very grateful for you, my friend.
I appreciate it. A lot of times it takes two to create great dialogue. I can give my opinion 1,000%, but sometimes my opinion isn't 100% supposed to be what's supposed to be out there. Sometimes I'm not always right. And sometimes I need to be hurt. Of course I need to be hurt, but then also it is nice to have it to a point to where somebody can object to I might be talking bullshit about something. Or I feel like a lot of times people come with different perspectives. So I really enjoy that type of shit. So for me to sit here and say, hey man, I could have rolled this whole wave out by myself, that would have been a lie. Would have been a straight one. I enjoy having these conversations. I enjoy having the conversation with Therese the time that we were talking about she's the one when I was talking about should kids, stay with their dads. And she had a lot to say. I don't agree with probably like 85% to 90% that she was saying.
Yeah.
But it was for us to be able to have that type of dialogue to where this is how she feels. And how she feels might be the way that other people feel, or the opposite sex as a whole may feel about that type of situation. And the funny thing is, a lot of times when I talk to a lot of different women about that situation, a lot of the things that she brought up were the similar things that these women were saying also. Not to say that what they were saying was correct, but I value, her opinion nonetheless. Same with you. We don't agree on everything 1,000%, but like I said, it makes for good dialogue.
That's what I was going to say. As long as you can have open dialogue and talk to somebody, that's what fucking matters. And I think that's what's lacking in the world is people are so quick to say, no, you can't talk about that. Excuse me.
I mean, wow. We're in cancel culture. It's hard.
Yeah. And
you want to be free to say whatever you want to. You want to be able to, and unless you have, like, let's say Dave Chappelle, for instance. he can say whatever the fuck he wants to because he has so many investments that even if you tried to cancel him, like with the comedy, he still has other shit. So he can go into this world fearlessly.
Yeah, because he's already. There's plenty of comedians that have that. Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K. I don't like Joe Rogan's comedy so much. I like his podcast sometimes if he has a guest I like. But I mean, there's so many comedians who just are like, they're so insulated that it's like I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And I can't be canceled. And they tried to cancel Louis C.K. I'll say first and foremost, I'm a big supporter of Louis C.K. I don't know if you know him or not.
I don't, but I'm going to look up and find out who he is, though.
Hilarious. He is the George Carlin of our generation, or my generation. Granddaddy ass.
I know.
But nah, he's hilarious. He's a genius, and he's always working. But they tried to cancel him because he got in a little bit of trouble from. I guess it's not okay to ask women if you can jerk off in front of them. And if they say yes, I guess that's still a problem.
What, he did that in a comedy bit?
No. That was his thing, I guess.
What?
It was like a fetish.
Walking up to people. Walking up
not,
to women.
not just walking up to people, but you hang out with someone and he was just like, hey, can I jerk off in front of you? And apparently how the story goes, like... It was just a couple of chicks.
Okay. That shit's not okay.
He asked for consent.
Oh, then if that's the case, then it's different. But like that's the conversation. Like I don't know at what point, especially if this person isn't somebody that you're fucking with on that type of level. It's like it's Stacy at the office and we're at a company, what is it called? Happy hour, and we're having a couple of drinks, and I just said, Stacy, I always wanted to ask you, can I jack off in front of you?
But what's wrong with that? Why can you not do that?
It's a thin line between sexual harassment and a compliment. And can I jack off in front of you does not sound like a compliment at all. It sounds like somebody's about to damn near probably rape your ass.
But you know what? It could have easily ended there. But they said yes.
Well,
and then however many years later, they popped up with the Me Too movement. And
they didn't get it signed? Wasn't it on paper? Man, look,
I see what you're saying, and you're right. You're right. I see what you're saying.
Like,
and I feel the same way. Like I'm that paranoid too.
Yeah,
where I'm like I want an NDA.
Yeah,
a non-disclosure agreement.
Let's say if all goes the wonderful way the world's supposed to, and this blows up, and you start getting like women that come and say they want to be with you or deal with you or this, that, and the third. At this day and age, would you like? I would have. Like, hold on one second. Let me. Excuse me. Can you print the contract out, please? Like real talk, because it's never.
I would have people for it.
A sour is what they say. I forgot that old saying. It's nothing like a woman scorned. It's no hurt like a woman. No
hell,
something. Yeah.
Hell hath no wrath like a woman scorned.
There you go. So you're sitting here telling me that you have a successful something going on, and then you fuck over this chick, and she's not going to come back and try to shit on you?
But at the same time, when you get worked up, and it's hilarious because when you get worked up and you're horny, you're in. And it's not till after you bust your nut that you go, oh my goodness, what am I doing?
Better
And
take.
so, like, I mean, come on.
Better have a couple of more less drinks then.
But it don't. Anyways, Louis C.K. Genius. He's a genius comic. Mm-hmm. He's got his little perks about him. Mm-hmm. And he likes to jerk off in front of women.
Fucking Pee Wee Herman Part 2.
And no, it's not a Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman at least was a little better. He was in at least.
How was he better?
He was at
Pee
least.
Wee Herman didn't get permission.
Pee Wee Herman was.
Louis C.K. got consent.
Pee Wee Herman got caught in a movie
Got
theater.
caught.
In a movie theater. Well,
I know Pee Wee Herman's story.
yeah.
He got caught like an idiot.
CK got caught with his fucking pants down.
No, he
Years
didn't.
later.
No, he didn't. He got caught up in the Me Too movement with people saying, well, that 20 years ago, that made me uncomfortable. It's like, well, why didn't you?
Yeah. Why your ass ain't say nothing all the way back then?
You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, he is still he's a hilarious comic.
Well, I'm going to check him out.
And Pee Wee Herman, like, it's funny you bring up Pee Wee Herman. Like, people like him and people like I don't know what the guy's name who played Kramer in
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
in
but
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, like, people like try to point out, where it's like, I'm kind of going off the rails here, but like racism in America, like I think that for the most part, white people try to single out, or for the most part, like Kramer.
Michael Richards.
Michael Richards.
That's his name.
Like, in America, it's like racism is like Bigfoot. You never seen it, but you know it's there, or you believe it. But when people like Michael Richards do what he did, and he's yelling the N-word all over stage, everyone just goes, there it is. There it is. There's the racism. There it is. And now we're casting it out. And it's like, well, no. So I think it's a little bit more complicated than that.
In what type of way?
In the type of way where, like, people, and especially nowadays, I think that I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I lost my train of thought.
So when I look at when I look at racism, regardless of like if it's an entertainer or if it's an individual, I know personally I've seen it. I've seen it at the workplace. I've seen it at home. I've seen it in my neighborhood. I've seen it when I grew up, when I was a long time ago, when I was a little kid, when I was in Norcross, and I had a friend named Judson. Judson was a little redneck kid, but that was my little homie. You know what I mean? We learned how to play baseball together. Me and him learned from the ground up. But his parents were, they weren't direct with it. They loved to say side shit. They'll know, they'll be like, hey, Michael, what's your favorite color? Is it red or blue? Like, come on. I know what the fuck they were trying to ask me. But, I would be like, well, my favorite color is purple. But I'm saying out of red and blue, which one you like?
What gang is that?
Yeah. Really, that's what they should have asked. But it was like, for some odd reason, the only thing they knew is Crips and Bloods.
Yeah.
So they was like, they would ask that question, or they would, I always, as a young kid, it flew over my head like a fucking jet. I didn't know it flew real quick. But as I got older, I was like, damn,
You thought about it.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah.
So like even when I watch certain things, sometimes like I could see it, even if it's underlined. Is to say, is it as, for the most part, to me, I feel like a lot of people are making it, trying to make those type of situations more comical. And even so to say,
do you think that's right, or do you think that's not right?
nah, I don't think it's right, because the more you put it out there like that, the more it becomes acceptable. Regardless of who it is, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter, Hispanic. The more that you put it out there, the more that it just keeps circulating. And I wouldn't want all this sidebar. Like when people have, like, they get their panties in a bunch over the things that Trump said, because Trump said, let's make America great again. Or when some people came into a room and he said, back in the day, this type of stuff wouldn't happen. We want to burn him at the stake for saying those type of things. But then, like you said, we'll go to some even black comedies, comics. You'll go there and they're making all type of, sidebar jokes and stuff like that, but we find it funny. And it's like, they were like, comedy is the last thing of open speech. Okay. Well, are you trying to say like openly these people hate these people, or these people look at these people in this type of way? It's like, when it start, like, it's a thin line like in between it being tasteful and tasteless.
I see what you're saying, and I feel like with comedy, like I agree with that sentiment that comedy is the last bastion of free speech.
I do too.
Where it's like you want to go to a comedy show and go, oh, hey, this group of people they just accomplished this. Hey, let's give it up for them. And it's like, no, you want to point at it and
when you have, like, let's
make a joke about it.
All right, so like let's say you have somebody like, and I'm just making this shit up because I can't think of like a specific scenario. But let's say a white comic is, when like sometimes they'll make a joke about like how dirty they are, or how dirty Mexicans are, or those dirty ass da 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 da. Like, when, like, at what point, or like they say like watermelon eating motherfuckers, this, that, and the third. Like, at what point does it become tasteless? Or is it there is just in comedy there is no tasteless?
There is no tasteless. To me, I think when it comes to funny, everything's on the table.
So a little girl gets raped at a bus stop.
Make a joke about it. You make a joke about it. It don't mean you agree with it. It don't mean you'll rape. It don't mean you'll rape a little girl at a bus stop.
You fuck a little girl at a bus stop. What the fuck I get that shit from? Anywho, go ahead.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, I get it, because, like, to be
joke
honest,
about it.
I love comedy. I love comedy.
I love comedy.
But it's and I'm not blaming it on the comics, more so on the critics. But
do you not think that you're being a critic right now by saying, well, no, what about a little girl at a bus stop getting raped?
I'm being inquisitive. I'm asking questions about it.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not making a statement.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? If I was like, those motherfuckers be racist as fuck and da 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 da. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is asking you questions so we can go back and forth and I can get how you feel about it. But me personally, I don't have a set thing of anything. Like I told you, I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr is an asshole, and there's a couple of other ones that are pure D assholes, and those are my favorite fucking critics. I meant critics, comics.
I can't wait till you look up Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Well, I want to. Let me ask you a question.
Nope.
What you think I was gonna say?
Would I be okay with him saying the N-word?
Who? Bill Burr?
The CK guy.
Oh, well, he already has. But it's context. Whereas he talks about it, and I'll explain it. Like, he talks about it where... oh, excuse me. Shouldn't have done that on the mic. He talks about how silly it is to say N-word. Like, even in the 50s and 60s on TV, how many times did you actually hear the actual N-word on TV? You didn't. Mm-mm. And now how many times do you hear it on TV, like the N-word, the N-word, the N-word on TV? It's white people figuring out how to say the N-word
without saying it.
Right. And if someone comes up to me, if we're hanging out, right, and I see you get into a fight with some white dude, and I see some other guy, and I'm like, what's going on with Mike? Oh, someone called him the N-word. What word do you think pops into my head when I hear the N-word?
True. But
you're making me say it.
But I think it's more so of a psychological statement. It's more so saying you can think it.
And imagine I came up to you every day at work and went, "Hey, Mike, what's up, my N-word?" Like, would you be okay with that? I'm not saying the word.
But in that case, if you would do something like that, that would kind of like it would kind of be like, how do I say it? Because it's kind of like you putting it in my face without putting it in my face, because you're joking about it. So in the back of my mind, yeah, if you saying what's up my N-word, I'm gonna be like, yo, don't do that shit, because at the end of the day, I know
I wouldn't be joking about it.
But I'm saying, like, if we're talking, you know, if we were actually doing that, like, I would just correct it right off. Like, I wouldn't be sitting up here, rah, 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 rah. But I would be like, oh, he's trying to be funny, and that shit's not funny to an individual like me. But you have some guys that don't give a fuck about it at all.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, how did you feel about, like, you saw, like, the whole thing with, like, Joe Rogan? He got in a little bit of trouble because someone made, like, a whole compilation of him saying the N-word, but it's the context. He wasn't saying, like, oh, you know, these dirty N's or whatever, like, nothing like that. It was just like, oh yeah, someone said N. So
let's say, all right, I don't agree with it. I believe in slippery slopes. I don't want to, because to me personally, the person that has experienced that shit all through life of discrimination, racism, and all that shit, yeah, I feel differently about that word than probably somebody that has not been through that shit before.
Right.
You have a lot of people that's growing up this day and age to where they were growing up with white people their whole lives. While you have some of us like 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, there was big sections that were just white, just black, and I remember those days. So yeah, it hits me differently. And I'm like I'm sure it hits. My grandmother tells me to this day that she would feel awkward if, like, let's say if I dated a white girl and I brought her to the house and a white family come out. My grandmother is from White Plains, Georgia. She used to pick cotton. So she really has like a in her head about white people. So if somebody came up to her and would be like, "What's up, my N-word?" She's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna hit people differently. So
I understand that
as an individual basis, I can't say what the rest of Black society would say because I think it was like probably like a couple weeks ago or whatever the case may be. But it was some artist. And he was in I think a European country or somewhere, but it was all white people. And I was like, dun, 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 dun. I can't think of the song, but he was like, but he said that word like a few times. And the whole crowd was saying it. And then everybody online is like, how should you feel about it? And I'm just sitting back because like I can't, you can't change the world as one individual with one opinion on fucking Twitter or something saying, "Oh, that hurt my feelings." Who gives a fuck? Who are you? But as an individual basis, it would bother me.
And that's one, like how you were saying, like about like the whole like with songs and shit. That's one thing I saw about Lil Baby. Not a big fan of his music or whatever, but he said that he's trying to not use that word in his music because he has predominantly white crowds, and when he would use the word in a song, he's got a bunch of white people like screaming it back to him,
and that's the truth.
And so that makes sense, but at the same time, like,
so it's what it.
Do you think it's a like the old cliche thing about like giving a word power?
Yeah, and you can,
but you also don't have to.
All right, so everybody has their trigger word. Little people used to be midget. If you talk to a person that's a little off, and you call him a retard,
but you're not a midget, and you're not the N-word. Like that's such a terrible thing to say. Like it sounds terrible when I say it.
Like for a white person, y'all don't really have that.
Like, I know. I've been asking for years, like, what's a good fucking white joke? Yeah, what's a good fucking thing that y'all can say about us? We got nothing. Nothing.
So it'll be hard for you to understand.
That's fair. That's fair.
So it'd be like giving word power. Like in your mind, there is no example that I can give you to say, this is. I'll be back. Somebody's at the front door. Yeah, I got my Grinch pants on.
Beer in there. Beer. You don't. That's fine. Okay, that's good news for me.
Nothing to give still.
That's fine. That's fine.
For some reason, taste the beer. I tried, but it just.
Oh, you don't even like the taste. Wow, okay. Good for you.
I would rather have tequila.
I
mean, alcohol, but not just beer.
Well, I got Crown.
I don't drink Crown. What part of it?
Well, you gonna be thirsty as fuck.
I got some good water.
Yeah, with ice.
Ice in there is a good time. When you go there and everything.
So I mean, you got.
But you had stopped to get something to eat or something? I had to get me some. I want a $3 cafe, but
You didn't get $3 cafe?
no.
I mean, if I would have been earlier, you would have said that there's one by my house, then there's one in Kennesaw, one in Marietta.
Yeah, I don't like those. The only ones that I like is the one off of Roswell Road and the one that's off of Chamblee Tucker.
I like the one in Windy Hill.
You know what? That one's not that bad. That one's close to my cousin's house. So, is it on? Yeah, it's on. So we were just having a conversation, right? And we were talking about, I guess, like
Words.
right, giving words power. Like how we say, like, if somebody said, how do you feel about if somebody came up to you and was like, what's up, my N-word? Like if they were white. They didn't say the actual word, but they were like, what's up, my N-word?
And not saying N-word is still saying the word.
But that's
And
what
it's-
I'm, but in some
it's
people,
putting it in the other person's head.
but that's where I'm getting at. It's like, to certain people, they don't give a damn. But to the masses, they don't like it. But a lot, like let's say when you look at TV and you see a whole group of people doing it, you can't do shit about it. It bothers you, but you can't do nothing about it.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, it took a while for it to just not bother me anymore because
Speaking to the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
We've been doing this for like what 32 minutes now.
very curious to what you have to say.
my bad viewers, listeners. Darn it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
This is temporary due before my trip
Oh God, when are you supposed to be leaving?
on the 24th. I literally just took out 3 suitcases and was like, let me scale back all these shoes I'm about to take over here. Cut my nails, so I can't do this now.
You're not gonna get them done before you leave?
Yeah, I had to cut them because the overlay on my nail, I hit my hand on the door and it cut all the way through my nail. So I told him just cut them all down. Heck yeah.
So you said it don't bother you.
Okay. No, it no longer bothers me. It's okay. Here's my thing about that. And the reason why it took me a long time to where it actually does not bother me. I do feel like people, not just white people, they say this because they feel like it's something that's going to trigger Black people. And most of the time it does.
Mm-hmm.
So when you allow people to take power from you and you just take it back,
But
it does not faze me
what I
because
was saying.
I'm gonna tell you why. And I've actually did a little,
I get it.
I did a little survey on my own.
right.
So it's several times this has been said to me in a very not in a like me and you cool.
Yeah.
And you be like, what's up? Not that way. It's been said to me like trying to hurt me.
Right.
And I do this. You know that don't bother me, right? And it pisses them off even more.
Yeah, I get that.
That's
Because
what
you
I'm
take
saying.
the power because
Exactly.
they think that they have power over
By
you.
saying it to you.
But I look at it more so as a respect thing. Like I demand my respect, and if you ain't gonna give it to me, I'm
see, there's the thing.
barbaric ways.
But see, if I walk up to you and I say you're a bitch ass motherfucker, you can just go, yeah,
yeah,
I'm a bitch ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I can fuck you up, but you know what? Yeah,
but
it's just taking your power back.
It's something about
Right.
It's something about that.
It's a trigger. And I think it's a trigger for us.
But like I was telling him, if maybe if I grew up and I did not like have to go through discrimination and I did not have to go through like racism and all that stuff, and I had to like go through it, so it's different because it makes me like I don't know, like
I get it. But like I said, Now, when I
get
was
what
younger,
I get what you're saying.
I mean, hey, I have been in a many of fights. But as I've gotten older, it's kind of like you figure things out. People try to trigger you just because, and they feel like, you know what, that's what you are. If you know that's not what you are and what people meant it to be, move on. Because I feel like we're giving so much energy into that. And I'm going to say this. I feel like we're giving so much energy. But if my thing is this, I always like to take things and flip it back on somebody. And when you flip it back on somebody, that just pisses them off. And I love pissing people off that want to piss me off. So if we as a people literally think about that and just take a step back, just piss them off the way they want to piss you off. Now, if it's a friendly, you grew up with me type thing, I don't even care.
And I want to say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
what?
interrupt. I was going to say, like, I'm not like, I'm not eager to say the N word. Like, I'm not sitting here like, please, like, understand why. Like, it's not that. It is more so, like, trying to say, like, these words only have as much power as you give them.
Right.
And, like, this whole conversation started with comics. And I hope you still look up Louis C.K.
I still will.
I hope you do. And but yeah, like, because he tackles it like in that way. And I'll
just have to watch
I'll
it.
never know what it is to be black. I understand that. And so I can't really say, you know, I can't say what you're saying is ridiculous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about like comedians and, you know, free speech and all that, that's just where I'm coming from.
No, I get it. I don't want to, I wouldn't ever, like I was saying.
Free speech starts with, like, once you start taking that away,
But
like you said, slippery slope. It works a bunch of ways.
It's free speech, but I was just saying, be tasteful in your free speech.
Tasteful is tasteful is subjective.
I guess that is true.
Nothing.
You're right.
Ain't nothing distasteful to me. I'll talk about abortions. I'll talk about anything. Ain't nothing, and I'll laugh about it. It ain't nothing to me.
But what about, like, I don't know, like I sometimes I feel like well, you know what, I guess you're right, because shit, it is subjective, because after a while, but still, I ain't gonna flex. At the end of the day, I still would not respect no comedian if I just heard that, like, throughout his bit, like, if everybody gave him the stamp of approval and we're just watching him act the ass on stage.
Are you talking about like a non-person of color? Or just anybody in general?
All right, so let me tell you, if we are on the spectrum, right? If we're really talking about the spectrum, if we're going to go off the hinges just a little bit, like, I honestly don't, if you're not a descendant of slaves, I really don't respect none of them saying it. And I'm very vocal about it. I don't give a fuck if you're Latino. I don't give a damn if you're from Africa. If you're not a descendant from slaves, I'd be feeling like, why are you saying the fucking word? And I keep, most of the time, I just keep my fucking opinion to myself. But that's how I feel, because I hear it as a whole. Like I said, I can't change the world, but this is how I feel. I feel like if we're talking about the word, and if we're going to give the word so much power, or have the word as so much as a subject, and this word crumbled our people, and for some, I don't agree with us using the damn word, but for some odd reason, our people switched the fucking word around, and now they use it for each other as, hey, you know, it's like a Mexican saying, hey, amigo.
Yeah.
To a Spanish guy.
And I think that's kind of what a lot of people, probably people of color, probably look at it. They be like, "Oh, well, if you guys can say it, we can say it too." But like you said, it's
that's
kinda
why it's
like
a slippery slope.
Yeah, it's that. Yes, I'm not gonna say I don't say it
Right.
because with my friends, of course, but it's used in that context.
Like I used to feel like it was weird when Peter used to say it. I would always be asking him. I'm like, bro, you from Nigeria?
Peter said it.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you from Nigeria?
It's
Okay,
Like,
oh,
how do
you
you-
talking about that Peter?
yeah, oh no, not that Peter.
but how do you know
not
Peter
that Peter.
from
I'm talking about
Nigeria?
African Peter
But how do you know he's not like a descendant of slaves?
because he
then?
said all his family is from there, from Africa. He's this first generation American African guy. Now, I meant
But that he don't know back. It could have been. decades and decades. I mean,
most people other than us knows their lineage.
I don't know, bro.
Of course you don't.
No,
You're a
what I
descendant
mean
of slaves.
is, I don't know that. My great grandmother is literally full-blooded Native American.
Right. That's all of us niggas say.
So no, like
I swear that is what I mean.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Cherokee. Well,
I'm not gonna say
I
unfortunate,
can't. I
but
can't.
it's true.
I
But that
can't-
doesn't mean
I can't
that,
deny it. I'm
that
just
doesn't
saying
mean
all
that's
black
just
people
one
say that.
hat. No,
I'm just saying all black people say that.
but maybe all black people don't actually know per se their great or seen that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
Now that's just one side of it. That's on my mom's side.
You do know that black people sold black people to white people.
No, they were tricked.
Whatever, bro.
What you mean?
Yeah.
White
no,
people?
no.
You think they were? You think what you think it was like Roots, where they just showed up and you think white people?
For one, I don't.
You
think
think
Roots,
white people?
For one, I don't think Roots has.
Hold on. Well, hold on.
Roots is fake as fuck.
I agree with that. You think white people showed up and just went into the woods in black people's own territory where they grew, like where they knew where they were at and hunted them like they were squirrels?
Of course, you had sellouts. Of course, that you have Benedict Arnolds everywhere. But what I'm saying is, when the first time that you hear about what happened back in those days, you have everybody coming with you with different stories. Nobody knows the actual story of how they were being able to come into those tribes, manipulate them, because they were by the thousands and millions compared to a couple on the boat with a couple of guns and some loose change items, some knickknacks. A lot of those people were tricked with knickknacks. They were like, "Hey, look at this. This right here and where I'm from is $1 million. You can buy 25 cattle with this right here." And if you're naive because you've been singing Kumbaya your whole goddamn life, and then some fucking evil ass person comes up and like, "We're gonna kidnap these motherfuckers. Hey, look at the pretty thingy. Look at it. Come here." So I can't say like, somebody said, hey, white man.
Bro.
Well, you can't say, hey, white man from across the ocean.
No,
They already knew.
right.
So you go there, and they go, "Hey, you got a black guy going. I have all these other black guys here at your disposal."
Nah, I can't say that. For it to be at that, if for it to be at that mass amount that we have here, it was way more than that. And that's why I say most of the time when people
What do you
talk,
mean? What are you talking about?
most of the time when it comes down to let's say the origin of how black slaves to white owners came about, we have a lot of different stories of the origin of it. And to be honest, that question will never be answered because history has been lied, switched up, and rewritten so much that you can sit here and read this shit and it could tell you anything under the blue moon. But is it facts? I can't go by that.
You can't know. But one thing I know for sure, I cannot believe that a bunch of white boys was out there hunting black guys in their own territory.
If you're trying, if you're
taking them away from their homeland,
if you stumble upon a land and you find that there are people that's not like you, that don't speak the language that you do, you stumble upon this land. I'm not saying like they went out and they ventured out and tried to look for them. They stumble upon them.
That's a fair point.
And when they stumble upon them,
kind of like the Indians and the Pilgrims and that type of shit, where it's
that's
take
why
this fucking
right.
take this AIDS blanket.
We celebrate we sit here and celebrate Thanksgiving. And that shit is Thanksgiving is a symbol of how fucked up. Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay.
So,
fair point. That's a fair point. Okay. I concede. That's a fair point.
So to me, like, yeah, I know I say the word here and there, but I don't try to say it a lot. And I try not to say it in front of people that are not black. I slip up, and even when I say it in front of you, I'm like, my bad.
Yeah, that used to always. Like, I was like, I would always be curious about that. You'd be like, you would say it, and you go, "Oh, my bad, didn't mean to say it." Why would you?
I wouldn't say. What are you
apologizing for?
I wouldn't say it to you because I wouldn't want you to say it to me. So out of respect for you, I try not to say it around you like that because I wouldn't be wanting you to be like, "Well, you say it all the time around," And it's not just you.
Well, that's a goofy person that would feel like, "Oh, well, this person."
All right, so
I get what you're saying.
I just use it as a blanket because it could be okay with you because you're not going to do it, but then I could be around somebody like I forgot the white boy that used to work at where we at, Justin. What? It started with a J, country guy. I forgot his fucking name.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
No, not him. But it was he real country and big. I can't think of his name, but him.
You talking about with the?
I think he did
Dip?
it, but he's not there no more.
Oh,
I can't think of his name.
Oh,
but,
no.
But,
you ain't talking about Pat, are you?
No, fuck no. But he was a real redneck ass dude, and he would be the type that would say it, and I could, and I would. There was a certain way that I would be around him because I knew that how I would react off of his foolishness. So I tried to keep our respect in a certain way because I wouldn't want him to cross over into what, you know what I'm saying? So, anywho, that's just my perspective on it. Just, what? Look, he's shaking the head. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, well, it's hard for me. Like, and then plus,
you're content with giving the word power.
Yeah, hell yeah, yep, sure do. And until my motherfucking dying day,
and I feel so powerless as a white dude. I'm like,
but it's not. But
fuck. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to like fight for my right to say it. I'm trying to I'm like, when other people say it, like, don't fucking want to hit them. Leave it alone. Just look at them and go, well, look at this fucking retard.
Yeah, that's what these passive guys do, but I'm just not a passive
It's
individual.
not passive.
I'm not passive. I can't do that. It's not, it would be hard for me. And if
it's
it was
letting other people, again, like, God damn it, like, I feel like I sound so pompous as a white guy. Telling you why you shouldn't be offended by the N-word.
But we have individuals that find nothing wrong with it. So that's why I say, like, it's just everybody's individuals, I guess, situation. My situation will never go from hip hop to pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to cross over.
I understand what you're saying.
There'll never be
and like I said, I'll never know. When people say, you can only imagine. That's about all I can do. I can only imagine what it is to be a black man in America. In the world. Just a black man existing. I can only imagine.